What's going on, chat? It's Monday, the 6th of July, brand new week, brand new account, brand new month, same conviction. I guess cue music, yeah? But yeah, happy Monday. We're back doing this thing again. As we always do, from 9:15 EST all the way up till 12, really. That's our trading window. So yeah, let me know if you're in the chat. Let me know once you get here. Let me know if you're watching the replay. You will notice a couple of things have changed. We are using what's it called? Trading View on the left side of the screen, just above me. If you look to the top, we're going to be using Trading View. We're going to be using Trading View because we are officially on our first day of Funded Next. So yeah, so similar rules. Similar rules, just less of a target to aim for, but rules are the same. A 1005 max drawdown. But yeah, besides that, man, everything is really the same. Yeah. So we'll see what type of a day we have today. Hopefully it's gonna be a good one. These flies can stop buzzing around me. That would be fantastic. But yeah, I did restart my motor wave because it was being slow and glitchy. So yeah, hopefully we don't have too much of a problem once we get to the open. Maybe I should, let me see if I clear local data. Yes. But yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you had a good 4th of July if you're celebrating. I definitely was. Kinda. I mean, I was at work. I was trying to prepare for this and sorting out the accounts and doing some research as well. I have officially partnered with the Underdog Research Channel, so I'm gonna be doing some of my breakdowns on, some of the crypto projects we're looking at, and just see what type of opportunity you find off that. But I mean, wave is being super glitchy right now, but hopefully it's just temporary. So give me a second. Thank you. What I miss? Yeah, no, we back at it. I just had to take care of that little situation. Can't do anything just as of yet because. But yeah, hopefully today's gonna be a good day, man. I haven't traded Mondays in a while. I missed the last 2 Mondays because I didn't have power, but I have power today, so hopefully it doesn't cut. You know, it doesn't. The power doesn't go because then that will cut the stream and also just what all we can do is hope, right? But yeah, I spend most of the weekends doing research on some of the parts I've been doing technical analysis on. Yeah, and then also just like chopping up some information. A little tedious, not but a form of flow. You know? I figured it would make it a lot easier to bring more people to the stream, and the more people that come to the stream, the better I have to trade. The value you get, you know. And also, the more people come to the stream, the more people ask. And it's a big, gigantic experience for everyone who is involved. Some of my motivations. So, insane. Is that a problem? You bet. I don't want to leave it because of the music. I really want the music as we do this. I didn't see any sun movements. Yeah, if we get to 95 and we still are having this issue, I'll just restart it again. I'll just keep restarting the list time. Yes. Did that help? Doesn't look like it did. But yeah, I mean, just talking about what we can see from the chart right now, does look like we are going to open outside of value. So, you know, we'll do the same thing. We don't have to complicate things. We open outside of value, you know. If we open outside of value, we wait for a retest. Once we get the retest, then we start to look for whether we hold above the value or whether we fall into the value, you know. If we fall into value, even great, it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? So it's rinse, repeat. You know, it doesn't have to be exciting. It doesn't have to be a new different thing all the time. You know, it can. Actually, like one thing that I have learned is that the system works better when you, you know, when it's boring. You know, so you complicate things less. You kind of have the same, you have the same repeated actions, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, let me just also motivate quit unexpectedly. No shit. Okay, let's reopen it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes with this with Funded Next. I have a good feeling about them. I was using Funded Next before, when I was doing CFDs, so I quite trust them. If you don't know why we switched from Lucid to Funded Next, just check out my latest video. I did a full video on it, and yeah. But yeah, we're 2 minutes away from the open. We haven't done any real tech analysis, which is not great. We still do have time, so we bank on that. But yeah, but seeing as it is like first day on these accounts, we'll take it slow, you know. We'll take it slow. If something presents itself, then it presents itself, but it has to be clear and obvious. If it's not clear and obvious, then we can't just let it go. And also because we are in the middle of value, right? We're opening like right in the middle of previous week value, as you can see over there. Yeah, you know, previous week levels might be in play, so we might just have to trade from level to level, you know. Might but yeah, it looks volume profiles and oh yeah, big trades are off for now, which is fine. We're 1 minute away from the open. Let's go. Actually 15 seconds away from open. Okay, cool. It is the extended session. There you go. Finally, our volume profiles loaded. But yeah, let's mark out our previous week levels on, you know, let's mark them out on, I was gonna say Tracy, but I mean, let's mark them out on Trading View. 75, 78. Already glitching on what do they call it? I don't have any templates here, so previous week value area high, save as previous week value area high. That's all right. And we might actually have a very slow day today because of this. Previous week, point of control, got a 5 2. I know. Previous week value area low. $497.75. $4,975, right? 4,975. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I can see them. Just trying to figure out if I could see those levels clearly. Previous day value area low. $483. Is that 483 flat? Yep. Previous day value area low. So I'll make this red. Same thing with the line, we'll make this red as well. Save it as a template. Previous day value area low. Let's go. 5 minutes into New York session. It would be really impressive if we close the green today, but just with the way everything is. Man, did I think that was 553.25. Let's just confirm. Value area low 483, we got that. $510. Okay, I'm a little quick because it seems like things are happening. At least things are about to happen. Previous day, point of control. Save that as a template. Save as previous day, point of control. I mean, I really don't need to do this, but it'll just make it easier when I'm placing trades on, when I start placing, if I place a trade, that is. You get me? Instead of like constantly switching and just double checking whether it's 553 or 535. 553.25. You know. Which is alright. 552, right? 553.25. Yeah. So yeah, so those are all of our levels done. Seems like we did open above value as I said we were going to do. And yeah. I mean, we could check out our overnight levels, but I guess this is pretty indicative, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. And the OBS. Yeah, today Motorwave is struggling today, guys. I'm not gonna apologize because I ain't affiliated. It won't let us win. There is a news event today at 10, which apparently is a red folder news thing, so could be why we've had such a interesting opening range. So, excuse me, I guess we can wait. We can wait till that thing is announced, and then we can, trade after. No need to make any sudden movements. You get what I mean? But yeah, our overnight value area low is just below our previous day value area high. Let's let it do what it gotta do. Hopefully it's not like this the entire session. Usually it's not. We are like 20 minutes in, we start to have more of a consistent data feed, so. But look, we already rejected the previous day value area high, right? So do we want to continue with price discovery? If we do, then we have to start thinking about what are the next logical places above, If not that, then we might have a rotational day. Right? So we can watch for that, see if we maintain price above previous day value area high. And then we watch as well what we're gonna do at the previous week value area high. If we stay within that range, then we start looking at the volume profile, today's volume profile, and then we just see over on which side it looks more likely we're gonna like what we're more likely to have. Are we more likely to have a range day? Are we gonna have a breakout day? So patience is king. Just have to wait. No need to, as I say, no need to make any sudden movements. I will say, anytime you feel like you have to trade, anytime you feel like you have to make a decision or something, it's usually not good. Spacing this off past history. 566.25, that's our overnight value area high. 566.25. Yeah, done with this. What we'll do is we'll switch off the extended session and just look at the New York session. Does like we're gonna have to wait. Looks like we're gonna have to wait for that news event, because this candle does look like it just went from overnight level to, from level to level, just did the whole overnight area high, overnight area low. Nothing really suggestive as to what this day could be just yet, at least, so we'll give it time. 562 overnight point of control. $562. I didn't say this is a template. This is our overnight point of control, right? Yep. Save as, so POC. And hey, our trade window is officially open. Did we get that bounce from the overnight point of control? Yeah. Not really, but you know, it really could be an inside day. By an inside day, I mean like a rotational day. Here we go. This is the last level we're gonna draw before we switch off our extended session. What are we looking at? 550, 250. Oh, not value area low. 550. Such an ugly day to trade. Look at that. All the levels are just like right amongst each other. Overnight value area low. Save as overnight value area low. Yeah, so once we do this, we're never gonna have to, we won't have to do it again unless we come up with a new level or something. 550 to 50. All right, cool. Just want to make sure y'all can see what's going on TradingView. All right, I think, yeah, for sure, let's switch off the extended session. Cool. And let's switch back to a 1 minute. Let's start trading. Gonna switch on the big trades as well. And that's on. And that's on. Volume imprint study. That's on. We're gonna watch Delta, yeah, as we did the last two streams. You know how it goes. So essentially, if this is your first time here, basically, what we do is we have Delta, right? We have Delta on. We have the Delta showing on our volume profile, and what that does is it tells us the Delta, which is what you're seeing on the right, as you're seeing on the CVD. But what we are monitoring more of is the change in the Delta, like how it's shifting. You get me? So like right now we're at 1056. So what does that mean? It means, which if you're looking at the number at the top here, it's the number right here on the right as well. Difference is where I'm able to spot it. I'm able to spot delta changing a lot quicker on the volume profile than on the CVD. You know, I can still see it on the CVD. I can still see it go up or go down, right? But it's about how the delta reacts at certain levels, right? And also whether the delta is being continuously supported. Of which, I mean, again, if you're looking at the CVD, if you're looking at the CVD, you can just see straight down candles, right? But if say we move up, say the candles over here, say we're now at the 2600s, okay, which would be a big jump from 1300. So that would be proof that buyers were supporting this move on the way up. But once we get to the top, once we get to 2600, right, now my thing is to see whether the delta moves on to 3000, right? So we might get like little spikes in the delta, etc., right? But seeing how dramatic the shift is on these numbers, on the delta, on the profile, just helps me a lot more. Yeah. I also find it's kind of difficult, but it is a little. It does take a little bit of work to explain an indicator or a tool, right? I think it's a little difficult to explain a tool before it works, because also another part of it is that all of this is also discretionary, so it doesn't always look the same, you know. It doesn't always look the same, so there's that. If we can get to, man, the thing is, if I switch motor wave off, we're gonna come back and we're gonna have the same problem. So I'm just hoping if I just sit tight and not do anything, it will just work out. Hopium or copium? We're 7 minutes away from that news thing. So, strong rejection of the overnight point of control. Yeah, we'll watch it at previous week value area high, 578. I mean, if that was struggling, and these are gonna take like 5 days to come out. There we go. My bad. Sorry, M-Dub. So yeah, so again, just looking at it, what's happening? This little rectangle over here was drawn over this volume node, right? This was a target that we had not too long ago. It is kind of still valid, to be honest. Yeah. So I mean, again, outside of previous day value, all right, previous day value, I'm looking at this volume profile over here. Makes sense? So outside of previous day value, open outside of previous day value, cool. And yeah, and what's a logical target? The volume node, I guess. So 590. 590 could be a thing. We could go for the other end of this. But I also do kind of feel like if we do break inside value, and then this point of control would be in place. So let's just watch it. We'll just watch and see what happens at the extremes. Previous week value area high, right over here, and what happens the previous day value area high. Could be an opportunity to fake some people out though, you know. Yeah, also watching the delta. Delta is shifting negative, so 563. Okay. This is what I was saying about we could have an inside day. We could just have a rotational day. Developing volume profile, value area high, value area low, back to value area high, back to value area low. So we'll just watch. Just watch and be patient. Yeah, let me just scoot my motive wave slightly to the right so I don't make sure that we're doing the same thing. Because you remember how like my motive wave will be a couple of seconds behind and stuff, so don't want that to happen. $567.50. That's the point of control. So okay, so what are my thoughts here? My thoughts are, look, we haven't tested previous week value area high. We are testing the VWAP right now, right? So if we fall below the VWAP, that could be indicative that like, okay, maybe we're in for sells. But then even if we fall under the VWAP, right, and we get to the overnight point of control, we would need to close below this previous week point of control. We would need to close here, you know. We would need a break of this, you know what I mean, for me to then even start thinking that maybe we could have a short from previous week value area high, you know. That's kind of my thoughts. Those are like the trades that I would take. But yeah, profile is looking pretty D-shaped though, right? So we're gonna need to see a couple of things. We're also gonna need to see some support. If like we're gonna go bearish, if we are gonna trade inside previous day value, that is, if we are gonna break this previous day value area high and trade lower, our delta is gonna have to support that, you know. So meaning we're gonna need to see sellers stepping into the market and sellers actively selling it, and that number shifting from positive to negative, right? So from 851, 800s to maybe like lower 500s to 300s to lower 200s, and then negative. And then for sure, and then we'd know like, okay, cool. Like sellers have completely shifted the auction, you know, and sellers are not in control, you know. But this looks like it could be a fake out, just like looking at the way that the profile is shaped. Yeah, it would be a better entry, like shorting from overnight point of control. Yeah, you know, but we could very easily just sweep liquidity and then go back up, which looks like is what it just did. So, but if it does close below the overnight point of control, then maybe, you know, then maybe there's a chance for that. It just looks set up to take your money, you know what I'm saying? Because You short from previous day value area high. The market goes hits overnight value area low, and then rotates back to overnight point of control, and then what? You know, like for real, and then what? So, yeah. I think that was a news candle. Delta is also just picked up, so 1,000, 1171, 1164. I am enjoying this music a little too much, I ain't gonna lie to you. You see what I was saying about that overnight point of control short? Yeah, I don't wanna do whatever this is. Does that mean, like, look at this? Say we do hit. One second, guys. I thought something was burning. I thought something was burning, my boy. Yeah, I was saying before I went to be a fireman, I was saying like, yeah, sure, like, is there a trade right now? Yeah, for sure. If you're in it for 4 points, you know, it's not really my thing, because then, like, what's your risk, you know? Okay, cool, you risk 2 points. You know, that's 8 ticks. Or you go 1 for 1 and you go, you know, go for 4 points at what? At 5 lots, at 5 contracts. That's $100. But if you lose, you've lost $100. You know? It's not really my thing. But here we go. Look, we did let go of that point of control. So maybe, all right, and by that point of control, I mean this point of control. Right? Developing volume profile point of control. We rejected that. So maybe if we close below the overnight point of control, we could be in for that move, right? But Delta is not really supporting it, is it? Because, like, there's buyers, you know, a lot of buyers here. And also, even if you look on the bid-ask ratio, 49% on the bid, 50% on the ask, 50.53% on the ask. So it still does look like buyers are in control, you know? That's what it looks like, at least. Overnight point of control seems to have been let go. Or is it still look below and fail and then a rotation back up? Don't know. Look below and fail, for real. It's a look below and trap. That's what they call entrapment. Is there another tab open? Nope. I thought maybe there was another tab open on my trading view. Just thought I would. Okay. Yeah, I hope you saw that. I'm really starting again. Which is unfortunate, but it's all good. It's not really starting again. I mean, we picked up a lot. We learned a lot. Did we not? And we learned a lot together. Let's see what our stop would be. If we got in here. Eight points. 12 points from overnight value area high. I mean, our look, our delta's gone up, so this is a trade idea. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it? You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, our delta is going up, but it's not really moving price higher. So that's kind of what's giving me this inkling that there's some absorption going on here. You know, and there's a passive seller here somewhere. Not in that much of a rush, to be honest. I can't see why that could be a trade. But I'd much rather see the weakness, you know what I mean? Maybe this is the first sign of, you know, because that is the point of control. That, or alternatively using the developing volume profile, but that's never really worked out great for us in the past. And again, you know, it's like I said earlier, where it's like I don't want to be in moves that are like 4-point moves. You know, I don't want to be in 4-point moves, man. Like if it's gonna break out, then let it break out. You know, if we're gonna get a strong move, right? Like an initial balance to VWAP. You know, yeah, cool. You know, but okay, that's kind of like the first time something has happened. That's a seller that stepped in. So do they win it or do they not? Also not entirely sure if this is actual price movement or if... Okay, I think sellers have stepped in, guys. I read that wrong. Definitely read that wrong. Sellers at the bottom of that candle, no result. Okay, here we go. Initial balance. Yeah, I for sure read that wrong. Oh man, not a look above and fail. I don't like rotational days, boys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Which is ironic because I like Dalton plays more, which is just one gigantic, which is one big rotational day. Yeah, maybe a 574 till she has no sell here. I'm genuinely openly looking for a sell. I don't think there's a sell here. I think your laundry's done. Bit of a divergence though. How do you know I don't dance? What gave it away? Was it these hand movements? Yeah. $584. Volume node $587. Maybe. $587. Actually, do not see why not. Whoa. Get over here. Yeah, honestly, I think we're just gonna have to watch previous week value area high and initial balance. Well, one sec, boys. Oh, by the way, I wanted to try this again. Wow. I'm still on stream. What up, boys? Yeah, there was like pretty much nothing we could have done earlier either. I mean, what were the tradable levels if you were to take a trade? Oh, I really like this song. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you were to take a trade, I guess maybe right from previous day value area high. But how would you have known? Maybe from the bounce and the hold above previous week point of control, maybe. That could have been your confirmation. And then, yeah, and then maybe targeting overnight value area high or holding for this entire up move, hoping for a target of previous week value area high, maybe. Yeah, just nothing clear and obvious. Nothing clear and obvious, to be honest, right now. We also did have that break below VWAP. The first one, which is the look below and fail. And then on the second one, which one am I talking about? This was the first look below and fail. All right. Look below, failed, came back, point of control. Look below, failed again. Found a little bit of support at the point of control and then broke above it because it is now also above the VWAP. So can we rotate from one side to the other? Yeah. Is that likely? Do I want to trade it? Not really. I'd much rather trade a breakout or a full rotation of, right? Of which, to be honest, what I would want to trade would be the break below previous day value area high. Like a clear break below, retest, and then continuation down. You know. But here we go. Initial balance just went higher. Our initial balance range is 24 points. It's pretty thin in comparison to what we were doing last week. Jeez. All right, here we go. Previous week value area high. You see how I'm like craning my neck? So yeah, so I think let's just watch what happens around this level, right? Around the previous week value area high. Just now also initial balance. If the initial balance can push above, then at least we know that we have like initiative for this market to go higher, right? I mean, I guess we had proof of that earlier. Perhaps what's also adding a little confusion is this bad boy over here. So let me get rid of it for now. Right, this does look like it was a break above this value area, right? Does look like a clean break above 572.25. So seller at the top of a candle is usually not a good sign. Typically this is when we start doing our rotation down, but also like a VWAP reversion from initial balance that happens like often. You will see it at least like twice across any trading week, at least. You know, it's not like there always has to be one, but it happens more often than not, which also could be an edge. You know, you could just trade that. 1626. 1626 my time. Which is what? 1026 EST. See, now initial balance is above that previous week value area high, so that's pretty interesting now. I don't want to like get into a long from there and then price is completely, because you'll start to feel like your stops are being targeted when it's just a thing of you're not really reading the order flow and you're not really paying attention to what's being shown to you on the charts. If you have access to order flow tools, etc., it will feel like your stop is being targeted, unfortunately. But it's not. It's just the way. If you just think about it, if you just think about like where the money is, right? The market has to be efficient, meaning that it has to trade from liquidity to liquidity. And once it gets to a place where there isn't any more liquidity, it has to go and find liquidity. And the only way it can do that is it either finds liquidity higher or it finds liquidity lower. And by liquidity, what I mean is, because people throw this word around and they don't really fully understand what seeking of liquidity means, right? Or searching for liquidity. Essentially, it's just finding a way to be efficient. Right? The market is trying to find a way to be efficient, meaning that it's trying to find places where the most amount of trade can be facilitated. And so when you have like violent or quick moves up, right? It's because the market is going to go look for places where trade can be facilitated. Then it gets to a point where the market participants themselves have to agree whether a price is too high, right, or whether that price is fine. So for example, like right now at previous week value area high, right? If we go above previous week value area high, basically it's acceptance. It's saying that, last week's high, it's not a bad price to pay today. So we'll gladly and happily pay above it, But if the market starts to move lower, it means that the market participants themselves are like, nah, I ain't really trying to pay that much. Yeah. And there's also two types of participants that enter the market, right? Like this is, like the first hour of New York is the first kind of market participant. You know what I'm saying? These are forgotten what they're called in that book. But if you check out Jim Dalton's market profile and something, I promise I read a little bit of it. But yeah, in that book they're using like TPOs, and when you look at a TPO chart, you then start to see the difference between the market participants in the first hour and then the ones that step in from the next 30 minutes, which is going to be now, and the 30 minutes after. So whoever's going to step in now, since this is initial balance now set, right? Do we get a break above this? Boy. I'll wait. I was thinking of shorting that, which does make sense now that I think about it. honestly, not clear enough, man. Yeah, that's kind of what was giving me the maybe go for the shorts. Seeing the sellers at the top of this wick. You know what I mean? Seeing those big trades at the top of that wick. Like right here. Yeah, you know what? Let's give that another try, actually. That's looking at an entry right below the previous week value area high, 578. But for that to happen, Delta does need to start shifting though. It's a pretty big stop. Wait, what? Am I in this trade or not? What was the problem there? Loss. Yeah, for some reason my order didn't go through. Sorry, boys. Let me check what's going on. Did I not size properly? Sure I did. Trying to figure out well, not that. I don't know what happened. Okay. Okay, look, let me try put a buy stop or something. Because my order got rejected there. I don't know if it's because I sized wrong. I am on the micros. So what is the fogging problem? Problem solving 101, I guess. It's crazy, fam. It's actually bananas. Okay. Let's see what happens if I... But why would that be a price limit? $5.74. Did I put in the wrong? Okay, let's see if maybe I'm the one tripping. It's like one contract, and let's see, I should have billed. I just want to see if like my book actually is connected or not. Okay, I do need to charge. 1 sec, please. Are you done? Oh, my bad, boys. I had to charge my laptop. Oh, okay. So you do work. But then, okay. But then now that I know that's how I place limit, where are my bracket orders? Have I forgotten how to trade? Moral of the story is, excuse me, do not figure things out on stream. Why are there two? Or is that my limit? Was 5 my limit? God damn it, how do I? I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm generally figuring out how to place my stops here. Mm. I've been paying attention to how to place an entry. I even stopped actually looking at the chart. So yeah, look, our point of control is also shifted higher. 577.50. So we can give this a shot. Yeah, we'll make that a stop limit over there. Maybe put our SL for now. Let's put $100. Let's put 150 on this. Today is day one, so if that happens, if that comes in, it comes in. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, I think I do have I can't make orders of 5 and above. Apparently not even 5. I can't even make 3. Was it a thing that I hadn't actually created the order? I'm actually kind of annoyed at myself. Not knowing that. Yeah, I think let's just do a base hit type of day and what 585. That's exactly where I put my stop. All right, move this break even. Let me close that. Yeah. I just want to make sure that my stops are working before I start committing like 5 contracts per trade. You know what I mean? So, alright, cool. So that was hit. Well, there you go then. So what is it? What did I do there that made that order not go through? Let's see. So if I put a sell limit, a buy limit, okay. But that's not what I want to do. I want to be able to hey, big boss. You mean to tell me every time I want to place a limit order, I'm gonna have to come here and modify it like this? We can't have that. Fam, look, I'm gonna end the stream now, and I'm gonna take the rest of the day to figure out what is actually going on over here on TradingView, because yeah, because I don't wanna lose money over a technicality, and I also want to make sure that when we do, okay, you know what? Maybe let's not be dramatic. Maybe I don't actually have to go. I actually have to open the panel. Okay. So yeah, how will we journal this, guys? Will we call this a should we call this a no trade day? Because we didn't really actually do anything, did we? Did we? Didn't really. We didn't actually do a thing. For to keep it a buck. Um, we also didn't actually have anything super clean to trade. We did try short this. I was gonna my goal was to hit the VWAP, but none of that. That didn't happen. We could try a sell limit from initial balance and hold that. So 579. Maybe that could be the very last thing that we do. Uh, yeah, it does look like this is what I'm gonna have to do. 5. Oh no. Um, there is no other way to do this, unfortunately. It doesn't look like there is. He said complaining about placing a buy limit, like he didn't do it on Tracy. So embarrassing. My thing is, I don't want to place a buy limit and not be able to place the stop. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like it's a way to surely get ruined. Let's give it another try. Let's see. If I... Okay, cool. But let's define the risk. Let's say... Alright. Okay, cool. So I guess... But that has to be a way. SL enables quantity and risk. I don't know what that means. I guess we'll give that a try. We'll put our stop at the overnight point of control. This trade would have to be done by 3:30 EST. So, I mean, I could, instead of getting off stream and going about my day, what I could do is that is if we do get tagged, I could leave this on and then watch it, I guess, on stream if you guys want me to keep it on stream. I just want to make sure that this works also is my thing. So maybe don't one tickle. Will there be a retest of this or not? Maybe. Here we go. Are you guys still seeing everything on OBS? Okay, great. I would like to have a data journal today, so maybe let me take this a little seriously. So yeah, so maybe just to mark it out and draw it out on MotiveWave, this is what we're trying to get now, which is not looking too promising. It's a pretty wide stop loss though, overnight point of control. Yeah, and targeting what, 600s? So that's kind of what we're trying to do right now. The point of control has shifted higher. Point of control has shifted to the previous week value area high, so maybe. Big seller at the bottom of that candle. But do they get the motion? Do they have enough motion? Yeah, I hope this works now. I think the mistake I made was not sending the order, which is something I've never had to do. You know, I'll watch the replay of the live and just see. There's probably someone who is screaming at the screen, but yeah. I'd be keen to see how close the VWAP is here, since we do have since we are 570. What is it on MotiveWave? 570.52. Guess not too far off. Okay, so it looks like that worked. So we are officially in this trade now. You guys know the deal. We break through previous week value area high. You know, this would be our last saving grace, but the value area high is above initial balance, which is why I thought of taking this trade in the first place. Yeah. Also why our stop is so low, you know, at the overnight point of control, all the way down here, which is below the value area, low of this developing volume profile, and below the VWAP. And I mean, yeah, point of control, so, and structure and delta, unless that also shifts dramatically. But yeah, targeting 600s is the plan. Took me a while to figure that out. I'm actually kind of peeved. But yeah, looking at it again, I mean, this volume node, that is our little resistance right now. Our 600 level is just above that. So yeah, I mean, $566.25. Just depends. Just depends on what we do around this. Just depends on what we do around. What do they call him? Initial balance and previous week value. If we fall below previous week value, then yeah, then a full rotation would be on. You know. I think if we can't hold above this level, then yeah, you know. But yeah, it could be a nice little initial balance trade. Okay. Yeah. What's going on, Kaz? Mashinigami. Wagwan. I was trying to figure out how to place these orders, man. I had to switch firms. But it's all good. It's all good. I think I figured it out. Yeah, that previous week value area high kind of just got taken, yeah? So that didn't really hold, which is not the greatest thing for us. But got a little low volume node over here. So yeah, maybe we find a little support here, which it looks like we just did. All right. Almost cleanly from that. I don't want to speak too soon. We'll see how this candle closes really, and then we'll know for sure. But yeah, this little volume node, this little pocket in between peaks of volume. All right. So that also acts as support, and you can see it did that several times. Like we came below it, went above it, came, retested it, found support again. So you know, if you know, could I be wrong? 100%. 100% could be wrong. Yeah, but it's like it's a low volume node here and a high volume node over here. So what easy? What easy? I'll tell you what it is. It is what it is, bro. Well, yeah. It's one of them ones. I hope I'm gonna see you this Saturday, my bro. Just a little drawdown didn't kill nobody. One sec, guys. What did I miss? My set, you know what? I actually don't know what time my set is, bro. I haven't found out just yet, but yeah. But I think I will be there from like 2. If you just wanna like chill and chat, I'll be there from like 2 p.m. Maybe we can just chat, catch up. Let me know how it's going with you and your grind, your music. You know what I mean? Yeah. Summing up from 2 p.m. From 2 p.m. Just need to get my reps in with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Just need to get my reps in over here and show up daily on stream. Yeah. So hopefully I'll see you on Saturday, bro. I actually wanted to reach out to you and send you something via via Twitter. I found my old music, bro. I found stuff I used to put on Reverb Nation and stuff. I don't know if you ever heard or used that thing, but yeah, I just wanted to share. I'll tell you about it over the weekend. I thought if there's someone would appreciate it, it would be you. So yeah. So we can't. Lanzo. Pilla here, the ES is moved way quicker. 80. Yeah, I guess it's moved the same. Just looks more dramatic because I'm zoomed in here. But here we go. The levels are like stacked now. You know what I'm saying? Back above initial balance now. Do we retest it and go above? You know, we did a look below and fail. Initial balance. Did a look below previous week value area high and fail. Did a look below the developing volume profile POC and fail. So, you know, the next place we should really be like looking for or testing, right, is gonna be this value area high, this little red line over here. This is where, you know, so 70% of the value is contained inside here. You know what I mean? So yeah, so we want to come back here and retest this and retest, but like break through it. If we can break past 583, then we should be good for our target. You know, we are some a ways out, right? We are like what, 20 points out, but the thesis holds. You know, above VWAPs, above previous week value area high, several tests. Now we just need that final test of value area high, and also the value area high is above initial balance, right? So, meaning that 70% of the value, part of that 70% has shifted outside of the initial balance. And we're also in that time when big market participants, the ones who actually have the money to move the market, are now stepping in, So that's what we're going to be, that's what I'm going to be paying attention to. And also just paying attention to this number over here, 3485. Just need to see it shift higher when we get here, right? Again, also ask side still larger than bid side. Ask side is 50.55, bid side is 49.45, right? What does that mean? It just means that like there's more buyers. So on the right side is your buyers, on the left side is your sellers. So the ask side, when we're looking at a DOM, the ask side is what keeps price moving higher, right? So you think of it like, which side is your right? Let me see. Left, right? Yeah, maybe I'll explain it better. Yeah. It's time to be outside, Brody. It's time to be outside. Gotta make sure you take care of the incidentals first, you know what I mean? You have to make sure you take care of like the things that need to be taken care of. You're like, yeah, today I need to take care of this, you take care of that, take care of this the next day. Next day. Just keep on bit by bit. But yeah, look at that, like value area high is shifting, value is shifting higher, which is great for us. Just need to make sure that like when we come back and we retest this, we don't fall inside 583, right? 583.50. Delta shifted, so we're in the 3000s, now we're in the 4.2s. So I think honestly, maybe let's start looking at this is greedy, 636. Honestly, I shouldn't make more than 619.50 because then I violate a rule. So I need to make sure I stay within 1,000. I can have a big day, but it just shouldn't be like more than 1,000. So otherwise it's a violation. $614, honestly, I mean, what I'm looking at is these peaks, but we do need to get above this little peak here. This is what we're looking at. Yeah, 583.50. Not that big of a thing, really. Just need to hold. Also, once this point of control, once this line goes outside of initial balance, even better. Drake, Iceman, Shop, okay. Like Manish on the beach, shebang. Indigo on the sheets, shebang. I need to make sure the delay here is not over exceeding what a violation is a violation. 687, what's at 687? Do you see anything? Okay, 687's right here. Right, this is this volume node, right? Circa around about here, 587. Obviously gonna get a little bit of rejection once we get to 600s, you know, if we can get to 600s. Not gonna lie, the music is ingenaring, yo. The music is lingering. Delta is also showing nice things. You see that? We're at like 3,000, now we're at 4.6, 4.7. We just need to monitor this and just make sure that the delta is also still positive, you know? Yeah. $584. A little bit of some resistance there. 589. But there's buyers also. You see that big green bubble, 102? That's big buyers that stepped in. If price closes beneath these buyers here, these participants, then we can expect to see price coming down lower, you know. But if we can continue going higher, even better. Even better is if value area high, excuse me, also shifts higher. But we should get like retests of these levels. I'd much rather get a retest whilst we're like this close to it. So a retest of 583, yeah, 583.50. If we can get a retest of that, it hits that, test it, and then it stays above it, then that's more conviction to hold, right, for a higher move, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then after that, then we can move our stop, you know, then we can move our stop for 579, you know, then that way, then 100% guaranteed, it's not a losing trade, can't lose a trade, you know. Time even 577.25. But yeah, let's just be patient. Let's just wait for the retest. Our delta is still positive. It's still in the 4,000. So, you know, and also when you're looking at the CVD, you see these are supposed to be sells, right? The black is sells, so price is supposed to be moving lower a lot more dramatically, but it's not. You know, it's not matching the size of what's going on there. You know what I'm saying? So there is that, you know. You see delta picking up. See delta picking up over here. You see these candles getting strong on one side. I think, did this shift higher? Nah, it's still the same, 583.50. Here we go. Test of 583.50. Hey, the drums on this chain go crazy. One sec, boys. Okay. All right, looks like we got the retest of it just when I was away, right? That's the wick retest of that level. So now let's see if delta picks up here, right? That's what we want to see. We want to see this number, this 4124. We want to see this number pick up, all right? If it doesn't, then what it means is that like sellers have now stepped in and are now pushing this market lower. Of course, you can deduce that by like looking at candles, right? That's the way we all learn how to do it. You just look at the candlesticks and you're like, oh yeah, clearly if the candlesticks are where price is, and so if it's moving lower. But the thing is, price can move lower, right? Okay, let's use this example of price going higher. Price can move higher, but then the delta is shifting lower, meaning that whomever is pushing, the delta is the difference between the buyers and the sellers. So obviously the buyers are the ones who are pushing the price higher. But if the price on the candlesticks is moving higher, right, but the delta starts shifting lower, right, then what that means is that the buyers are now, they call it exhaustion. The buyer's exhausted, right? There's a passive seller. There's a seller who's taking all of those buy orders, right? Because remember when you buy and sell something, right? That's a process that involves two people. You can't just buy from just like the air. You buy from someone who's willing to sell, right? And you sell to someone who's willing to buy. You know what I mean? So that's how those dynamics work. There's never a situation where it's like there are more buyers than there are sellers. There's an equal number of buyers. For every buyer there's a seller, and for every seller there's a buyer. You know, it's about the strength of those participants, right? Which is what we see over here. 50%, 50.6, 49.4. You know, this is pretty significant for us, man. I mean, big sell order over here, 585. You know what I mean? If if these guys get result, we could shift a lot lower. Because that's a big market seller coming in and who's trying to move the market lower, right? So if they get result, then it's just gonna continue, right? But if they don't, then their position is gonna be put underwater. So that's what trading is. That's how the markets work, right? There are people like shaking each other out of positions, and there's different reasons why people do different things in the market. So it's not always a thing where like someone puts in an order because they want the market to go higher. Sometimes people, sometimes these organizations or institutions will do things to make the market move in a certain way, right? That's hedging, to protect their money or to protect their firm's money, or for whatever reasons, we don't know. Multiple reasons, right? I mean, these are guys with economics and finance degrees, and you know what I mean? So their thinking, their understanding of financial mechanics is going to be a lot different from us as independent traders, right? Your motivations are going to be different. Like, look at this. This candlestick went all the way up, but look at the delta. Not that much change in it. You know what I mean? 4,247, 4247. So the seller, this market participant who tried to move the market lower, what do you think they're trying to do now? If you're trying to sell at 585.25 and immediately price went against you, right? If you're this guy, you want the market to go this way. But now if it starts moving this way, at some point, you're gonna have to consider getting out of your position. So every time I'm here, I'm just trying to align myself with strength. Does that make sense? I'm just trying to align myself with strength. It's like picking a football team. Maybe you're a Man City supporter, maybe you're a Man U supporter, maybe you're an Arsenal supporter. For sure, like in sports terms, you always support your team, right? But this is different. I have no loyalty here. I have no side, right? I'm not like, oh, I'm with the buyers. No, I'm with the sellers. I'm with whomever is moving the market. If the buyers are the ones who are moving the market, I'm going with y'all. If the sellers are the ones who are moving the market, I'm going with y'all. So my thing is like, I'm just trying to identify and find spots and find places where, where these clues are being left, and I find that in the order flow. You get me? I find that using these tools that I use to trade. So we are targeting like 619. It's a lot. Not gonna lie, it's a lot. It's a lot of points, bruv. You see now, sellers again stepping in. I mean, if I can zoom in and you can see how many. 122 sell orders at 758,650. Right. So 758,650. That's what we're gonna watch now. Right? What happens with price here? Hey, man, I don't like these. $7,586.50. So really, I mean, we could put our stop at 7586 at this point. Here we go. How cleanly do we break these highs? How cleanly do we break 589 if we can? Hey, I also need to make sure I'm not playing any copyrighted music. So there's that reload off those sellers at 58650. So I guess that's now where we're like gonna be watching to see what happens with the delta when we get there. Does the delta drop? Does it increase? Does it spike up? You know, because if it drops, then those sellers are good, right? And then it'll be now a thing of like, what's the next point of weakness, or what will the buyers do? You know. But yeah, pretty weird day today, I'm not gonna lie. My first order didn't go through. Also, it was like, I seem to have forgotten how to even place an order. Yeah, boss. I think I'll call it a day at 12:30 EST. All right. Call it a day at 12:30 EST. So what? That's another 40 minutes. I don't want to get into the habit of trading around lunch. I mean New York lunchtime. I don't want to. Yeah, you see our delta is like pretty much dropped from the 4,000, right? So next 5 candles, what do? Does this pick up from 820? Does this get back into the 4,000s? And also, how quickly does it get into the 4,000s? Or does it drop lower? You know? Like, what happens now? This is the battle now, right? Between buyers and sellers. You know, sellers step in, try to force the market lower. Buyers get it, hold it. You know what I'm saying? Try and push the market higher. They get to a certain point, sellers step in, they push the buyers lower. Buyers come in, and they push the market higher. So this is an efficient market, meaning that there's consistent and fair trade between market participants. So meaning I sell to you, you buy from me, I buy from whomever, I buy from Drake sells to me, I sell to Kendrick buys from me, you know, and we keep, then that's an efficient market, you know. And so this entire system, the mechanics of this thing is to find efficiency, is to allow for efficient trade, you know, for this process to happen a lot, which is why most of the time, if you look at charts, most of the time, the market spends most of its time horizontal, you know, because most of the time the market has to be efficient, like the market has to be efficient more often than it's not, right? And the reason it has to be efficient more often than it's not is because like this thing supports entire economies, you know, the entire US economy, the DAX for Germany, the Nikkei for Japan, and then of course then you have like your stuff for like the JSE, which is, you know, South Africa, Joburg, etc. You know, because these are companies that provide countries their GDPs per se, you know what I'm saying, and determine whether they're going to be whether people are going to have lower or higher rates of inflation, you know what I mean? So these things have to be efficient, you know, they have to be efficient. So but yeah, look, doesn't look like we're gonna get much more out of this. I don't know what happens when I do that. Does it lock in a certain amount of money? Nope. Okay. I thought maybe if I push this, it would show how much. Hey, but Manish on the beach, you bang. I don't like looking at P&L. I don't like looking at P&L when I'm trading and stuff. I just kind of feel like it makes you make really poor decisions. You end up making decisions based off your emotions instead of based off what's actually going on. Yeah, look, sellers are really pushing this low. You can tell that like there's a stronger presence of sellers. How do we know this now? Because our delta's shifted from 4,000 to 3,000, right? So by right, we shouldn't be in this for long, right? Let's see how this closes, and yeah, you know, we'll call it a day. Perhaps maybe a little sooner than I would have liked to, but that's the playlist. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, you're always welcome to ask. I'll try and explain things the best way I know how. Always. But yeah, Delta's still up there. Look, as long as we're above this value area high, yeah? As long as we're above 583.50, we're still good for the up move. You know? I hope that makes sense. Reason being, we're still above 70% of value, okay? And typically what happens, remember what I was saying about efficiency? The market wants to find efficiency. So if it's like in a space of price discovery, it's going to go above its highest amount of value, right? And where the value is located, I don't know whether you guys remember from math or that distribution curve we used to do in stats or statistics, if you ever, you know, or where like 70% where you're finding like averages and means and all of that stuff. But yeah, this is basically what this is, just for volume, you know, just for volume. Yeah, we're at that 586.50, which is where that seller was. So if they are still around, of which you would imagine they would be. I mean, that was only like what, 2 points, but 2 points at 122 contracts is going to hurt. It's going to hurt. So trust, if we can break these highs, if we can break 589, we should make a really quick move up to the 600s. And then I think honestly, we can call it, we'll just put our stop at 600 and then just like let it do whatever it wants to do and call that a runner, you know. Delta's starting to pick up now. 3,400. We haven't dropped below 3,000, so that's still pretty positive. Also, remember when we were at the top here, our delta was at around what, 4,000? As you can see, like this candle here, this last blue candle, this blue candle that I'm highlighting over here, delta was at 4,100, right? That's this candle. We're in the 4,000s. Now we're at the same high, but with less delta, you know. So yeah, so whomever those sellers are, here's another one just literally popped in, you know. If we can close above this guy at 157, we should be good. If we can close above 588.25, if you are learning to trade, okay, I'm safe. Oh, okay, need to start paying attention to this. Maybe, yeah, maybe we take what we can from this, man. I don't like how that's shifted now. What do we do? I just don't like how the delta shifted into the 2000s now. That's pretty indicative. You know what? I think I'm gonna call it. Yeah. I'm alright with that. 230 day. We'll come back tomorrow and yeah. So I just noticed the delta and I saw it at 2000s, and then also the seller at the top of that candle. I don't want to be here longer than I have to, of which I already have been here for a very long time. What does the OBS say? Yeah, I've been here for almost 3 hours, so yeah, I'm not too mad at a $200 day. Would the full TP have been at? Yeah, sure, full TP would have been great, but yeah. But things did shift for us here, man. Like, could I be wrong? Yes, could be. But yeah, seller at the top, and this 167, right? At 588.25. And then once this seller came in, we didn't close above them, right? So they got the resultant down move, right? Or at least they're currently getting the resultant down move. And then also at the same time, the CVD shifted, right? So this is where we were on the CVD, and then look at that, you know, down candle, down candle, down candle. So I remember like our delta was in the 4,000s. Now our delta is in the 2,500s, 2.5s. So yeah, it could find support anywhere. Could find support here, could find support at the value area high, and then continue going higher. But there's something that's shifted significantly here, you know. And we've had like several failed attempts to break higher. So first attempt to go higher than 589, you know, we set the high at 589, tried to break it, failed to, tried again, failed to, tried again. This time seller stepped in, pushed it lower, delta shifted lower, CVD shifting lower. I'm good. Also, if you remember from this little level, we are at that peak again, which is a previous day high volume node. Yeah, if it goes without us, it goes without us. But we'll be back tomorrow. I don't even think I was gonna trade today, so it is a dub. It is a dub. I also need to figure out how to. I need to figure out how to journal this, because I don't know. I haven't used TradingView for. I have not used TradingView to place my trades. I've only placed my trades on, what's it called? On TradeC. Yeah. Is anything changing here? Even if it was, I wonder what this looks like. Select a trading tab to export. It'll be saved to a CSV. Account summary. Yeah, look, I'm gonna figure out how to journal this. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, first day on the Founder Next, and we are green. First green day of the week. Yeah, but I'm gonna go. If you guys have any questions, drop them for me in the comment section. If you have, if you're not subscribed, subscribe now. Hit the notification thing also, so that every time I am live, you just get the notification. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, man. What else can I say? All right, boys.